So here are the pile of books. Excuse my bed because I stripped it this morning. So there's a lot. We've got comics, mangas, kind of textbooks, single comics, collabs, novels, all biographies. Little bit of everything here. These were all shoved into this cupboard here, which is still a mess. But they took up all that top shelf because we put our bookcase. So I have an empty bookcase minus some tea lights. So yes, this is part 2 of Reorganize My Bedroom with me. So part 1, I reorganized all of this area over here and here and in here, which is now a mess again. Surprise, surprise, we are snowed in, so yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I have an empty bookcase, a massive pile of books that I need to decide what ones are going on the bookcase. So I'm going to quickly divide these into categories and then kind of go through them. So if you like book videos, then I will probably talk about most of these books. Not all of them are mine, some of them are Grant's, some of them are probably Ivy's, some of them are probably friends' books that I've not read or returned. And some of them I may be getting rid of just because either I don't like them, I'm never going to read them, I read them and I thought they were crap and I'm just not going to read it again, and I may as well pass it on to someone who may like it. There's some books here I've never read, but they have sentimental value because they belong to my dad. My dad passed away 8 years ago now. Geez, so obviously some of these books were his, and even if I haven't read them, I keep them for sentimental purposes. And obviously I won't throw any books that are not mine or belong to Grant. So I'll go organise these and be back in a second. Somewhat organised these into piles. I've got mangas, novels, comics, Grant's books, single issues, education, Piers Anthony, books, and scripts. So super quick, I'll just go for these Piers Anthony books because these are not going anywhere. As I said, these belong to my dad. Some of them I bought myself. Most of them I inherited from my dad. If you don't know who Piers Anthony is, he is a fantasy writer. He also writes sci-fi. I do have a few of them and I'm trying to get into them. Anyway, he writes fantasy novels based in the world of Xanth that usually follow like the hero's journey. He or she goes on a quest. Always a quest. I make that sound horrible, but he is one of my favourite writers of all times, and he has hundreds of books. There's so many. So these are just a couple. Yeah, I think he's more popular in the US. I honestly only know like 2 other people in the UK who've read his works. He's just not sold over here. I don't know why. You can buy his books on Amazon, but for some reason he's not sold here, and I'm not gonna like talk too heavily because I could honestly talk about him forever, and y'all know I ramble in these videos. So I'm just going to go through the ones I have here because these will all go in a pile together. Now I don't know how I'm going to organise them, because I honestly cannot be bothered looking up I can look up the order that these all go in. So I'm just going to mention the ones I have, if I've read them. So The Dastard, I've read, it's one of my favourites. And yeah, so this is it here. I love the artwork so much, and The Dastard's one of my favourites. Love it. I've got Current Events, which I don't think I have read. Again, the artwork is beautiful. Like, I always wanted a tattoo from one of the books, but like I don't even know who I would ask like where to go to get something like this done. So I have that one. Heaven Sent, again, is one of my favourites. This is part of like a trilogy. So there is some that are like, these are so old, and these are the ones that follow Dolph, and Heaven Sent is honestly what I've read this so many times. My absolute favourite one is Question Quest, which I have in a hardback, which is actually one of the drawers in my bed. Then I have Harpy Time, which I think I've read. I don't think it was one of my favourites. I'm pretty sure it was quite good. I've got the Guys Geist of the Gargoyle, which I liked. I always thought the artwork on this one just screamed. She just looks like such a 90s supermodel. I mean, when did this come out? Yeah, 1994. To me, she screams 90s supermodel. I don't know, this cover is just so 90s. Then we've got Pet Peeve, which I love. This one was so funny. Like, if you don't like puns, I mean, I don't really like puns, but he writes puns in a way that I actually enjoy them. So we've got Pet Peeve. We've got The Colour of Her Panties, which again is part of like the Heaven Sent kind of series. Like, I know looking at these covers look really sexist at times. Then we've got Up in a Hevo, which was really good. And then Gollum in the Gears, which I think I've read, but Toads freak me out, and I think this one's kind of scared me. So they're the ones that I have that will go back on the bookshelf. As I said, these are not all of them. Honestly, I have these like scattered all over my house. And also, in no means are these all my books. Like, if you watched my graphic fiction video, which I'll link above, they're all in another cupboard. Done. That's just Batman. And there's a ton of books there. Our living room, our 2 windowsills are covered in books. We have a huge bookcase in our living room. Like, we read a lot. But I just wanted, these are like the Piers Anthony ones, and these ones are definitely going back on the bookcase. No doubt about that. And I will try and put them in some sort of semblance order. Okay, let's tackle the mangas. I don't have many left at all. I used to be really, really into manga, and that was all because of this creepy ex-boyfriend I had, and he really kind of forced me to start reading them, but then I did kind of gain a love for them, and I do. Like, I mean, I want to be a comics book writer, and manga is something that I do love. I love the art of it, but I used to despise it. Anyway, so this is Princess Eye. This is number 2. Where's number 1? So we've got number 1, number 2, and number 3 of this is the original trilogy, and she is like this kind of alien angel princess, beautiful creature that comes to Earth. And there's like these demons, but essentially these were collaborated with Courtney Love, which I did not know when I read the first 3, and especially by book 3, I was very much like, this is a lot like Kurt Cobain. This reminds me like of Kurt Cobain, blah 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 blah. And then I did some research, and then I discovered that these is the story of Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain in this fantasy world. So like, we can see she starts off as a normal girl, then she gets her wings, and her wings are fully blossomed. These are super gothic and amazing, and honestly, my feelings in Courtney Love aside, I love them. I love Nirvana, I love Kurt Cobain. I love that this totally did kind of bring us, like, I don't know, I love them, love the artwork. Highly recommend them if you're a little goth child like myself. These are really, really good. So keeping them, and then I also have, she brought out more. So this is the Princess Eye, the Prism of the Midnight Dawn. This is number 1, and then this is number 2. So this is where it gets a lot more darker. This is like, I mean, come on. That's just like Kurt Cobain and Courtney right there. I don't know if there's any more. I know there was like I had another one that was like a kind of more like a coloured in comic book. I sold that because it was a bit more childish. I wasn't really my thing. I preferred the books. There was one that was like a crossover series, which was fun, but I sold a lot of these along the years. So I don't know if there's any more. If you know, if you read these and if you know there's more, comment down below, because it is something I would probably reconsider getting back into. But I'm going to keep these because, I mean, I don't have many left. I mean, this isn't like a declutter video. This is just me being like what I have. And then I have 3 of the Alice in the Country of Hearts. Yeah, I thought it was Kingdom of Hearts. So these are quite popular as well. I love this guy. I've forgotten his name. But he reminds me of my friend. Like, she looks a lot like this cat, and they remind me of my friend. And these are really cute. These are like a really interesting kind of story on Alice in Wonderland. It's all based around clocks and weird, typical anime, manga, fancy, like, sexual tension story. So, I mean, I know there's like so many more of these, but I stopped buying them because the Forbidden Planet where I lived never had number 4. They had like weird numbers, and it was the same. I used to collect Sergeant Frog, and I just had to quit because there was just too many, and they never had the numbers I needed in store. But from what I remember, I like these, and I'm gonna keep these because like these are the kind of things I would want to pass on to Ivy, because like these ones, not so much the Princess Eye, but like these ones anyway, are probably a bit more kid safe. And what's the age rating on them? Older teen, 16 plus. So I don't know, I keep them because I like the artwork and they were fun stories. But I don't really read manga anymore, and I'm not dissing anyone who does, just because like my introduction to it was weird. Like, I think manga's amazing, and if I ever got the chance to like, well, it's a difficult, I'd say like write for them, but then I'm a white Scottish person, but you know what I mean, like I like having them for reference material. Sorry, this is probably super boring, me just being like, these are the books that I'm putting on my bookshelf. But anyway, so out of like the kind of educational books, the only one I'm probably going to keep on my shelves are these two. So this is the Roald Dahl and Philosophy, which I bought for uni because I was going to do this whole... I think for a while I wanted to do my dissertation on the philosophy behind Roald Dahl, and then I think I was going to do an essay on it, and then I ended up not, because I don't think any of the theorists we were covering were in here. But this is a really fascinating book, and it reads really easily as well for like a philosophy book. And you know, I want to have this out because I'm doing more philosophy and like theory right now at uni, even though this doesn't necessarily apply. I actually really like reading philosophy and theory because I'm a nerd. And then I'm also going to keep out on my shelf this, which was so hard to get because it's out of print. It's a 20th century Scottish drama, like, book. Anthology, that's the word. Randall Stevenson was actually one of my husband's lecturers at Edinburgh Uni. And I love the cover on this. And this has just got lots of different, like, Scottish plays in it, which is handy having it all in one book, because there's a lot I don't have in like single form. I mean, I have hundreds of books of plays, and I need to get back into reading plays, but I like having them all in one book, and I love the cover of this book more than anything else. Plus, this was so difficult to get and so expensive. And in the rest of them, we have like an English idioms, an English dictionary, abbreviations, English grammar, punctuation, books that I probably should be reading, a thesaurus, plain English, the Writers and Artists Yearbook from 2014. Obviously a new one comes out every year. So this might not even be relevant anymore. But this is probably just going to go back in the cupboard. I might make a section for this because, well, I should probably read these because, I mean, I am dyslexic and punctuation and grammar is something I really do struggle with. So I might, like, keep these out, but, like, not have them in my bookcase, just have them, like, where I study. But they're not really the kind of books, like, I want on my bookcase. If there's room, I might pick them up, but I'll just shove them over there. And then we've got the books that are grants. So we've got the Thoughts and Dreams of an Undiscovered... Oh, this is just a notebook. Oh, okay. Never mind. So we've got War of the Worlds, which I'll probably put on the bookcase. And we've got Dexter. He has a few more of these. Apparently the books are pretty rubbish, according to him. Like, he didn't like them. Red Dwarf, which I can't remember if it was mine or his or our friend's. I think it belongs to our friend Dan. He let us borrow it. We've got Ian Banks, The Player of Games. We've got Voltaire. Candide. I like the cover. Got more Ian Banks, The Song of Stone. We've got Alice Oswald Dart, which is a poetry book. Louis Theroux, Call of the Weird, which I bought him a couple of years ago for Christmas. And then A Girl is a Half-Formed Thing, which I need to read because apparently this is amazing. So I think these, if there's room, will go up on the shelf. I'm not being like, this is my bookcase, Grant's books can't go on there. But just because they're not mine, if that makes sense. So these will probably go up. Okay, so novels. I have Lynn Anderson, The Special Dead. Lynn Anderson is my favourite writer. Like, it's hard for me to say I have a favourite writer because there's so many, but she is. And she's from Scotland. I've met her a couple of times at book events, and she, like, recognises me because, like, we chat on Twitter. And that's, like, my claim to fame. But she's so lovely, and her books are, like, my favourite. Crime books, they're my favourite books. I just can't get enough of her books, and I have almost all of them. I don't have some of, like, the much earlier stuff. And I'm surprised they're not in this pile, because these were all on this bookcase, but I think they're in the cupboard. So I need to dig them out, but that's going up. Okay, I have Pete Bennett's book, like, all biography. I have a love-hate thing with all biographies. Like, I have a few in my drawer, and I'm going to put them with them. Because I've got Amy Poehler's, I've got RuPaul's, I've got Michelle Visage. I have another one. And I have, like, a love-hate thing with them. And I love Pete. I did have a signed photograph of him on my wall, because I'm really sad. But he won Big Brother many moons ago now. But I found him really inspirational, and I love him. I just think I wanted to be him when I was younger. But this isn't going up on the shelf just because I want to keep it with my other autobiographies. So that one won't go up on the shelf. And then this, Crazy in Love by Chris Manby. I've read other books by Chris Manby when I was a lot younger. When this was the kind of book that I would have loved. Like rom-com, meet cute, kind of female drama books. A girl who I used to be friends with, we're not friends, my old best friend gave me this because her boyfriend bought her this book and she thought it was really funny, and she doesn't really read, so I was really surprised that she was like, I read this book, you have to read it. I mean, me and my best friend, we do that all the time with Stephen King and other books, but this friend never really read books, so I was really surprised, and I read it and it was bad. There was, like, quite a bit of kind of, like, transphobia in this book. There was, like, it just wasn't needed. Like, I kind of got the point the writer was trying to make, but just wasn't needed. It was basically just trying to be like, this is a book about Paris Hilton being kidnapped. And I don't know. I mean, I read it. It wasn't the worst book I've ever read, but I'm just gonna, like, donate this because I just don't like this book. I just don't like it. Okay, so now I've got, like, my graphic novels, which I used to keep on the bookcase, and I don't think I am going to anymore because they don't really sit on the bookcase and I have too many. So I have so many of the Buffy ones. What one's this? This is 2, 3... I don't even know what season this is. 1. Is this season 1? Long Way Home. This seems like season 1. Or 9, 10, however you want to call it, from when it continued from the TV series. So, because there's, like, I'm so behind on these. I just couldn't afford to keep up with them because I was buying them, like, every 2 months when they were coming out or whatever. So try and organise them. I got this Angel Hole in the World. I got this on clearance, and it was okay. I mean, again, it was trying to continue obviously from where, like, the TV series left off. I mean, this is does it have a number? No, I don't know. The Angel comics I just couldn't get into as much as the Buffy ones, as much as I like them, but I think I'm gonna try and give this another go. Yeah, I don't know. And then I've got Fables, which is this, like, Legends in Exile, which I enjoyed. Who's this by? I mean, I never read the rest of them, and basically it's all these fairy tale characters are like kicked out of their kingdom and have to come live in the real world, and it's how they adapt to the real world and stuff. It's basically like Once Upon a Time, but a bit grittier, is how I would describe it. And it's from Vertigo Comics, and I really like Vertigo. I think I'm going to keep this one, just because I did really enjoy it. And it'd be interesting to reference this. But this may be one I may eventually pass on if, like, maybe... I don't like passing on books. And then I got Terry Pratchett Mort, which is a big Discworld comic, which I got in a charity shop, which was a great find. Okay, so well, we got 8 of Buffy. We got this Willow, which was a one-off, and I love this. This is my favourite. The cover is beautiful. Willow is one of my favourite characters of all time, and if we have another child, if we have a girl, she's going to be called Willow, because I love Willow. I love her so much. So she is staying. And then I have this 28 Days Later comic, and this is number 6. So yeah, this is, I think I had 2 others that were random numbers. I got them in the sale. I've not watched the films. I'm going to be straight up honest. They're one of the few zombie films I haven't watched. And I haven't read the others. So I'm honestly going to pass this on. I'm going to see, because we have like a room of books in like our uni. I'm going to see if like we can hand in books to the writer's room. Because I'll just donate this to uni. Like any books I'm going to pass on are going to get like donated. Just because there's no point in me keeping this, because I'm never going to read it and I've not read the other 5. Okay, and then we have this Buffy one, which is from another season from this one. You can tell by the covers. This is number 2. Number 3 of this season with the white spines. 2. 1, that's handy. 1 of these ones go together. Always checking the spines. 4, so I think this is like where I stopped, was with the white spines. Yes. And I actually think I have 2 of Guarded. I think I have 2 copies of this, because I think I went into Forbidden Planet and was like, oh, the new copy's out, and it was not, because I am silly. So all my kind of graphics, which are all Buffy, and this isn't all of them. This is nowhere near all of them, because I do have all of them. They're just not all here. I'm going to put back in the cupboard, because they're just not going to fit on the bookcase. And then left I have is like single issues, and I'm going to quickly go through these and decide what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to donate, because there's a lot here that I didn't enjoy or they're one-off. So the Death in the Family, I bought all of them. I never read any of the Batgirl ones. I bought them because I was collecting them, but I'm just gonna donate this one. The Catwoman, Captured by Justice League of America, I'm gonna keep, because I did work really hard at collecting all the Catwoman ones, so keeping her. Same as Suicide Squad, I was collecting all of them for ages. This Catwoman. Rose and Thorn was like a really good like one-off. I don't know if they ever brought out more of this. I never saw any more, where she has this like dual personality between this like nice schoolgirl and this like angsty goth. But I never saw any more of this. I need to look up if they ever brought out more, but I never saw any more, and I wish they had, because I actually really did enjoy this. We've got Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad again, Death in the Family. This one came with like the kind of cool like cover. Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad. Like I spent so long collecting all these, and then they just went a bit downhill. More Suicide Squad. I actually haven't watched the Suicide Squad film, and then this is like a independent comic which I got signed. So it was at like a Comic-Con thing I was at. And this is really cool, because like they just printed this off themselves, which gives me hope for when I print off my comics. And it was really cute, because the guy was like, you can colour it in, and I was like, oh, I'm not, because I don't want to ruin it, but yay. And this was really cute, so I always thought like their message was really funny. So that's like their Facebook if you wanted to check them out. So I don't know if they ever did make a final copy, like this was like a sample copy, and this was from years ago. But I did really like this, so I'm going to keep that. And I'm going to take out some more single magazines, and then this is probably insanely boring, but I thought I'd just go through some books and then put them on my shelf and try and organise them. So I found more single issues. So I collected these like with the holographic covers that were like super limited edition. So I had the Riddler, I'm going to keep. I had the Harley Quinn one, the Joker one, the Poison Ivy one, which I have a drawing that I did of this somewhere. So I'm going to keep these because these were like limited edition. I have a Harley Quinn comic, which I never got into reading, which is bad. I have the Spike ones, which was a really short run, but these were so good. Spike is my favourite. I was like madly in love with Spike, and these had alternate covers as well. Which I didn't collect all of the alternate covers because I didn't have the money. They are going nowhere. I need to start storing them in the special plastic and stuff. So we've got more Catwoman. Oh, Catwoman and Joker's daughter. Catwoman. Probably a lot of Catwoman. Catwoman, 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 Catwoman. I'm just seeing if there's any... Oh, this was my favourite cover ever. Love this. And it was a really good issue. I'm just trying to see if there's any that like... have that are just like, or these all Catwoman. I think, yeah, you can tell I was a fan of the Catwoman ones. So part of me plans on like getting like the kind of hardback version where they're all together, just so like it's easier to maintain. But I think all these are going to go in the drawer under my bed till I can start storing them properly, like in plastic and stuff. So yeah, that's all the books that I've just taken out my cupboard and only got rid of 3, which is yeah. So now I'm going to quickly put these on a bookshelf and some sort of semblance. Here we go. Now that it's all like up and out, I'm like, what a waste of a video. This looks so pitiful. So at the top I put like some of the hardback books. Here I put my mangas in order, and then the Piers Anthony ones in order that they came out. And then down here I've got Grant's books and some of mine. And then down at the bottom I've got all like the kind of Penguin English language books. So they look, ignore the mess on the floor, but I think they look quite good at the bottom. And then we've got these ones and these and some at the top. So this is in no way like a finished product because I have more books that I want to put in here and maybe reorganize it again. But in all honesty, it's just nice to have a bookcase back up and in our room on display. It just is nice to have a bookcase back. So yeah, I hope this wasn't too boring a video. I mean, the reason I like filming these book videos is I feel like you get to know a bit more about me, who I am, even Grant. I know I've not really had like my face in any of my recent videos. I'm literally filming this in like a big oversized like Barbie nightie. I have no makeup on, we've been snowed in for days, you know, so I do apologise. I've not really been sitting down in front of the camera like talking to you, you know. I just did like a makeup video, now I'm doing this. You know, the last one was like a room thing. I think just because like I've just been feeling a bit rubbish about myself. I've still got to set up like my tripod, my proper camera. There's been stuff going on that, but I've just wanted to keep making videos, and I kind of felt like this bedroom's been such a huge task. Oh, and if you didn't know, we've now put up like one of our Ralph Steadman posters from Fear and Loathing up, which fits in obviously really nicely with the bookcase. Like that just looks perfect, so I might get like another kind of book print to sit in between. So anyway, I hope you liked this video. I hope it wasn't too boring. If you did like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It would really mean a lot to me. If you're new here, hi, welcome, I'm Tash McZombie. If you check out my other videos, you'll actually see what I look like, who I am. I have other book videos. I have part 1 of Reorganizing the Room. I have makeup videos and all sorts. I would love to have you here, so please hit that subscribe button. If you've already hit that subscribe button, then hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I hope you're all keeping well, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!